We come to our second Minimax race of the day here at Wittgenborn, and here is your starting order. In pole position will be the 111 of Montego Massen. Alongside will be the 158 of Jonas Ungnade. Row 2 is the number 102 of Mikko Mikov and the 107 of Austin Lee. Adrien Rohr in the 103 will start 5th. Alongside will be the 121 of David Chirush. David Schnell and Moritz Wolper in the 112 and the 115 complete the top 4 rows, with Maximilian Schreier in the 166 and the 191 of Nein Pretag completing the top 10. Jan Fischer in the 136 and the 118 of Mika Trapp completes the top 12, with Tom Müller and Hugo Göttel rounding out the 14-strong grid. So 9 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap set on the timer. Red lights are ignited on the starting gantry once again. So it's Massen, Ungnade, Mikov, Lee, Rohr, Girouche, Schnell, Wolper, Schreier and Pretag. That is your top 10. They come out of the final corner. Through into the tram lines we go. They push the accelerators down hard. And that was classed as a full start. So, first full start of the day called. Race director not completely happy with that, so another formation lap on the books. So the timer has been reset. 9 minutes plus an additional lap on the clock. The drivers now will get themselves back into formation. So let's see if the Minimax drivers will get a clean start once again. Red lights back and ignited on the starting gantry. 9 minutes on the clock plus 1 lap. And we'll see if someone else decides to get a victory under the belt this weekend here on Saturday. So once more they come round the final corner. They split, they go into the tram lines, the accelerators are pressed hard down. It is a clean start, we are off and racing. And already Austin Lee trying to get towards the outside of Mikko Mikov, going into turn 1 for the first time. The field now makes its way through, as Austin Lee has already made his way up behind Montego Massen. So starting from 4th, up into 2nd place goes the 107 as Tom Müller looks to start making his way through the field. As Austin Lee pressurising Montego Massen, as now David Girouche now coming under pressure from Tom Müller. And Müller looking up towards the inside as Austin Lee not too far behind Jonas Ungnade, not too far behind Montego Massen, as it looks like Jonas Ungnade has got past Mikko Mikov. Then it's the 103 of Adrien Rohr, then the 112 of David Schnell. From Kachmi.de, Austin Lee will go for the lead through the final corner. You've got to be kidding me on that one. He absolutely sent it, but this time Massen manages to get round the outside and power past as now this time it is Ungnade who's in 3rd, Mikov in 4th, Rohr in 5th place. And it's like a hornet's nest buzzing around David Schnell, rounding out the top 6 positions as they hurtle their way through the chicane. So Massen leads as now Ungnade up the inside of Lee for 2nd position through the hairpin. Nicely done by the 158. Mikov, Rohr and Schnell waiting for their opportunities as they present themselves. And Mika Trapp, oh, now there was a bit of ground loss there. And that is for the 103 of Adrien Rohr, who quite literally has been forced off the track by the 118 of Mika Trapp coming through the final corner. So now Rohr drops all the way down to 14th and stone dead last. There's now Jan Fischer battling away with Tom Müller for what is 8th position with the 122 just behind. Montego Masson continues to lead. And there's been a few developments up and down the order. Austin Lee now back up into second position. And there is an absolute scramble behind from what is fifth position. That's Jonas Ungnade, who's followed by Mika Trapp. Then it's Maurice Volber. And we have got someone parked up on the far part of the circuit. I think that could be, unfortunately, Adrien Reur, that is now out of the race, down to 13 competitors. So Montego Masson has set exactly. Oh, bit of a contact there between that was more than likely between Jonas Ungnade and also Mika Trapp now goes off the circuit. So multiple drivers having themselves really, really pushed. And it looks like that Mika Trapp, I believe, that might be just coming in to the pits, and that is a real shame for Mika Trapp. But it is all quite literally kicking off all the way down from around about fifth place. It's now Tom Müller trying to go up the inside of Jonas Ungnade, as Maximilian Schreier is is going to be pretty much confirmed as a retirement very shortly. There's now Tom Müller pressurising Jonas Ungnade, and that will be for a little bit further down the order as the top three make their way through the chicane, followed by David Schnell. Then it is Ungnade and Müller. Then it's the 136 of Moritz Volber. So Schreier and Trapp both out of the race. We're down to 12 out of 14 competitors. Montego Masson now has just over a second lead over Austin Lee. Nico Mikov rounds out the top three positions as Müller getting a bit feisty now, trying to get past Ungnade. Nearly tries to go through on the penultimate corner. But this time around, Ungnade wise to it. Müller in the slipstream, looking towards the inside, going through into turn one. The 122 does not have enough room to facilitate that overtake. So, and there's been a clash between both Ungnade and Tom Müller. So we've got just under half of this race remaining, plus an additional lap. And at the moment, Montego Masson has a lead of just over 1.5 seconds ahead of Austin Lee, who is just over 3.5 tenths of a second ahead of Mikko Mikov. David Schnell rounds out the top four. Jonas Ungnade and Tom Müller battling all the way over what is fifth place. Just behind them is Leandro Fischer. And we've got a 5-second time penalty being given to the 112, and that is David Schnell for pushing. So Schnell will drop down the order. Meanwhile, a little bit further up the field, it is getting rather interesting between Austin Lee and Mikko Mikov as they are battling over second position, whilst Masson has rocketed away into the distance and has also set the fastest lap of the race so far, a 49.446 second lap time. Lee definitely coming into the clutches of Mikko Mikov. So David Schnell at the moment has a 3.789 second advantage over Jonas Ungnade, who is still trying to fend off the unwelcome advances of one Tom Müller. And that's the battle for fifth place. Leandro Fischer and Moritz Volber, followed by David Chirush and Hugo Gütel. The latter having a better race this time around. As Müller tried to go up the inside of Jonas Ungnade, and on that particular occasion Müller nearly came unstuck and went a bit sideways going through the hairpin after turns 1 and 2. So the running order with just under 2.5 minutes remaining plus 1 lap. It is Masson from Lee, Mikov, Schnell, Ungnade. Well, looks like Tom Müller has got past Ungnade, and now Leandro Fischer trying to thread the eye of the needle past the 158. No dice happening there, I'm afraid. However, still more opportunities. Just behind is Volber, Girouche and Gütel. As now Adrien Reur goes side by side with Nam Freitag in the 191. And it looks like Her has got past and made the position. So up into 11th place goes Adrien Her. Maassen has over a 3.1 second advantage. And just been able to pull away a 49.3 flat last time around. And the lap previously, 42.293 second lap time, being the fastest lap of this race. And again, a 49.301 second lap time from Montego Maassen. Austin Lee still keeping in second. Just over a minute and a quarter remaining plus an additional lap. Maassen not being troubled by anybody. Lee just trying to do the damage limitation exercise here and keep that championship push at full speed, despite the fact that Montego Maassen has been the standout driver so far this weekend. And David Schnell at the moment has to try and find another half a second before the checker flag falls ahead of Tom Müller to keep 4th place. Müller in 5th, Ungnada, Fischer, Volber, Gütel, Giroux round out the top 10. As it looked like Naim Breitag and also Adrien Her went across the line literally dead level, but Her kept ahead by just 40 thousandths of a second. Timer is about to expire. One more lap to go this time around for Montego Maassen in the 111. Austin Lee still keeping a hold of second ahead of Mikko Mikov. Schnell still rounding out the top 4. And the gap between him and Tom Müller is not going to be enough, so it could drop Schnell at the flag to 5th. As Maassen has just got around 5 corners to negotiate around the circuit. Through into the hairpin on the far side. Then into the double right, which then goes back on itself and into the left as Austin Lee still fending off Mikko Mikov towards the end of this race. However, Montego Maassen comes out of the final corner and takes the victory. Both hands off the wheel as he crosses the line. Austin Lee is going to have a drag race with Mikko Mikov, but nips it in the bud by an absolute close fraction. The winning margin for second place was 42 thousandths of a second. David Schnell will finish in 4th on the road, but will drop down. And it will be down to 6th place with the 5-second time penalty, which will promote Tom Müller up to 4th and Jonas Ungnada up to 5th place. Leandro Fischer takes 7th ahead of Moritz Volber. Hugo Gütel takes 9th ahead of David Giroux, with Adrien Her and Naim Breitag rounding out the 12 that completed the 12 laps of the race, with Mika Trapp retiring on lap 3 and Maximilian Schreier on lap number 2.